Winning over the woman you want is never about doing more, giving more, or chasing harder. It's about understanding a set of invisible rules that govern attraction, rules that most people ignore. Attraction isn't logical. It doesn't reward effort. It rewards presence, strength, and the ability to create mystery. When you rush to impress her, when you over-explain or constantly prove yourself, you strip away the very qualities that could have made you irresistible. The truth is simple but uncomfortable. The one who seeks approval always loses power. A woman isn't captivated by endless compliments or predictable gestures. She's moved by a man who knows his worth and makes her work to earn his attention. In the following guide, you'll discover 5 strategic principles that turn pursuit into power, silence into magnetism, and uncertainty into desire. Forget the fairy tale advice about always being available. This is about control, psychology, and playing the game on your terms. Number 1, don't prove yourself. Create attraction. The biggest trap men fall into when they meet a woman they desire is the urge to prove themselves. They think, if I show her how kind I am, how attentive I can be, how loyal I am, she will finally see my worth. But in reality, the opposite happens. The more you try to prove, the more you signal that you are beneath her, someone who needs her validation in order to feel important. Attraction does not grow from proving your value. Attraction grows from being valuable. When a man enters an interaction with the mindset of convincing a woman, he automatically places himself in a submissive role. He becomes the applicant, and she is the judge. Every compliment he piles on, every gesture of overeagerness only reinforces this imbalance. And the truth is brutal. People rarely desire what is begging for approval. They desire what feels slightly out of reach, what has presence, confidence, and does not seek to be evaluated. Think of it this way. When a luxury brand releases a product, they do not chase customers and beg them to buy. They present their product with confidence, create an aura of exclusivity, and let the world come to them. The product does not prove itself. It simply is. Women respond to men in the exact same way. If you are busy trying to explain why you are good enough, you destroy the mystery and magnetism that makes you valuable. So how do you shift from proving yourself to creating attraction? First, stop oversharing. You don't need to tell her every good deed you've done, every quality you possess, or every plan you've made for the future. Let her discover things slowly. Mystery is far more powerful than transparency. Second, focus on your frame rather than her reaction. Instead of trying to guess what she wants to hear, speak and act in alignment with your values. Attraction is born when she sees you are not bending yourself to fit her approval. Third, invest in your presence. This includes your body language, your tone of voice, and your ability to hold eye contact without nervousness. A man who carries himself with calm authority radiates value without saying a word. Another crucial step is to reframe rejection. Many men fear rejection so much that they compensate by proving endlessly, hoping to avoid it. But paradoxically, a man who accepts rejection calmly, who knows his value, does not shrink just because one woman doesn't choose him, becomes far more attractive. Why? Because it shows he has options. He is not dependent on one person's validation, and independence is magnetic. In essence, proving yourself is a game you cannot win, because the more you play it, the less attractive you become. Attraction is not about working harder. It is about being more. When you embody confidence, purpose and presence, you don't need to chase. She feels drawn to you naturally. Number 2, maintain the position of scarcity. One of the most overlooked principles of attraction is scarcity. What is rare is valued. What is abundant is ignored. Human psychology has always operated this way, whether in economics, politics, or relationships. A man who is too available, too predictable, and always within reach unconsciously signals that his time and attention carry little weight. If she can have you anytime, then your presence loses its spark. Scarcity creates desire, and desire is the foundation of attraction. Think about it. When a resource is limited, people fight for it. Diamonds, gold, limited edition products, all are prized because they are not easily obtained. But when something is everywhere, no matter how beautiful, people overlook it. The same applies to you. If you are constantly texting, always ready to meet, canceling your plans for her, you communicate that your life revolves around her. Instead of pulling her closer, this suffocates her interest. She doesn't feel chosen. She feels burdened. Maintaining scarcity does not mean playing childish games or disappearing for weeks. It means living a life so full, purposeful, and engaging that she naturally has to earn a place within it. When she realizes that your time is limited, she begins to treat it with respect. A man with goals, ambitions, friends, and passions outside of her world is infinitely more attractive than the man who sits by the phone, waiting for her message. Scarcity also flips the dynamic of pursuit. When you are not readily available, she begins to wonder, what is he doing? Who is he with? Why can't I have all of his attention? These questions create emotional investment. By giving her just enough attention to keep the connection alive, but not flooding her with it, you create tension. The kind of tension that fuels attraction. Even in long-term relationships, scarcity remains vital. Too much routine, too much predictability, and too much presence kill excitement. A man who maintains his individuality, who sometimes chooses his work, his hobbies, or his solitude over constant availability, keeps the spark alive. Scarcity reminds her that you are not hers by default. You are a man with choices, and that realization makes her fight to keep you. The danger of ignoring this principle is clear. The man who is always available becomes invisible. He fades into the background, appreciated only when convenient, and forgotten when something more exciting appears. But the man who maintains scarcity becomes a challenge. He represents something valuable, something not easily won. And women, like all people, are wired to chase what they cannot fully possess. In short, scarcity is not about manipulation. It is about valuing yourself so highly that you refuse to dilute your presence. The less available you are, the more powerful each moment with you becomes. Number 3, reverse the dynamic of pursuit. Attraction dies when the roles are fixed. The man chases endlessly, and the woman decides whether to grant him attention. This imbalance puts all the power in her hands and leaves him exhausted. To truly win over the woman you want, you must reverse the dynamic of pursuit. Instead of being the one who constantly invests, you create a situation where she begins to invest in you. Human beings value what they put effort into. Think of a project you worked on, a goal you fought for, or even an expensive purchase you saved up for. The struggle, the effort, the investment made it meaningful. Relationships are no different. If a woman doesn't put in effort, if she doesn't text you first, try to spend time with you, or show curiosity about your life, she will never feel truly attached. Why? Because she hasn't invested anything of herself. Reversing the dynamic means planting small hooks that encourage her to take action. For example, instead of always being the one to start conversations, allow silence sometimes. Make her initiate. Instead of rearranging your entire schedule to fit hers, set clear boundaries and let her accommodate you. Instead of constantly giving compliments, ask for her opinion or perspective, making her feel she has to contribute. Every time she invests, whether through time, attention, or emotional energy, her attachment deepens. This principle also plays into psychology. People chase what withdraws. When your attention is abundant, it loses value. When your attention is measured and requires her to earn it, she begins to feel its weight. That subtle shift transforms you from the pursuer into the prize. And when a woman feels she has to win you, her attraction multiplies. But beware. Reversing the dynamic is not about manipulation or cruelty. It's not about playing games to frustrate her. It's about balance. A healthy relationship is not one where one person does all the chasing and the other does all the receiving. It is a dance, and a dance requires both partners to move. By stepping back strategically, you create space for her to step forward. The magic happens when she begins to wonder, why is he not chasing me like everyone else? Why does he seem so secure, so confident, as if he doesn't need me? These questions fuel curiosity, and curiosity fuels desire. Instead of you proving your worth, she begins to prove hers. Instead of you begging for attention, she begins to seek yours. That is when the dynamic has been reversed. In short, you win not by running after her, but by making her run toward you. Number 4, display power through composure. True power is rarely loud. It's not the man who shouts the most, argues the hardest, or tries to dominate every situation. Real power is calm, controlled, and unshaken. When you interact with the woman you want, your ability to remain composed in the face of challenges is one of the strongest signals of confidence you can send. Many men fail this test. The moment a woman teases them, challenges their opinion, or delays a reply, they panic. They overreact, they send a flood of messages, or they try desperately to defend themselves. But this reaction communicates weakness. It shows that their emotions are easily hijacked, and that their frame depends entirely on her validation. A man who loses his balance over small provocations is not respected. He is tested again and again until he breaks. On the other hand, composure is magnetic. When she tries to provoke you, and you respond with a relaxed smile, when she questions you, and you answer calmly, without rushing to justify yourself, you radiate power. You demonstrate that your emotions are under your command, not hers. And women, like everyone else, are drawn to those who cannot be easily shaken. This principle is deeply psychological. People instinctively look to leaders in times of uncertainty. And who is seen as a leader? The one who remains calm when others panic. By staying composed, you position yourself as the center of gravity, the person who stabilizes the environment rather than being destabilized by it. In the eyes of a woman, this is irresistible because it signals protection, maturity, and authority. Composure also creates mystery. If she cannot predict your reaction, if you don't explode with anger or drown her in neediness, she begins to wonder what lies beneath your calm surface. That curiosity keeps her engaged. The less you reveal through emotional outbursts, the more she feels compelled to uncover your depth. Maintaining this calm authority requires discipline. It means controlling your body language, steady posture, measured gestures, and deliberate eye contact. It means mastering your voice, slow, clear, and unhurried, never defensive or whiny. It also means embracing silence. Sometimes the most powerful response is no reaction at all, letting silence carry the weight instead of scrambling for words. This does not mean being cold or emotionless. It means you choose when and how to express emotions, rather than letting them control you. Joy, humor, passion, all can be expressed powerfully when they are genuine and not reactions to pressure. Composure gives your emotions authenticity. In short, a man who displays power through composure cannot be controlled, manipulated, or easily dismissed. He becomes the anchor in the storm, the steady presence that women are drawn to and respect. And in a world full of men who panic, complain, or overreact, the man who remains calm stands out as extraordinary. Number 5. Create surprise and gentle challenge. Attraction thrives on unpredictability. Nothing kills desire faster than routine, predictability, and complete certainty. When a woman knows exactly what you will say, how you will react, and what you will do every single time, she loses the excitement that keeps her engaged. The spark of attraction comes from a sense of discovery, and discovery only happens when there is an element of surprise. This does not mean you must act erratic or play manipulative games. It means you must resist becoming boring. Too many men, once they gain a woman's attention, fall into the trap of consistency without variety. They text the same way, take her to the same places, give the same compliments, and follow the same patterns. Predictability creates comfort, but comfort without tension is death to attraction. Surprise is powerful because it stimulates emotions she cannot control. Imagine canceling a simple coffee date and instead taking her on a spontaneous adventure, perhaps to a hidden rooftop view, a late-night drive, or a place she never expected. Imagine giving her a compliment at a completely unexpected moment, or pulling back playfully when she thought you would chase. These small disruptions break her expectations and remind her that you are not like the rest. Equally important is the element of gentle challenge. Women do not fall deeply for men they can dominate completely. They may enjoy attention from someone who obeys every demand, but they never truly respect him. Respect grows when she realizes she cannot easily control you, when she has to earn your approval instead of receiving it freely. Gentle challenges, questioning her assumptions, teasing her lightly, disagreeing without anger, force her to engage on a deeper level. Think of it as a game of push and pull. If you only pull, only give attention, only say yes, only agree, you create no tension. But if you occasionally push back, playfully, confidently, you spark attraction. It shows her that your world does not revolve around her, that you are not desperate for her validation. Instead, you invite her into a dynamic where she must keep earning your interest. The psychology behind this is simple. People crave what challenges them. The more effort and curiosity she invests in you, the more she feels compelled to continue. If everything about you is predictable and easy, she feels no urgency to hold on. But if you constantly remind her, through surprise, variety, and challenge, that there is always more to discover, she will never feel safe enough to grow complacent. Ultimately, creating surprise and gentle challenge transforms the relationship from something ordinary into something alive. You are no longer just another man providing attention. You are an experience, someone who awakens emotions, curiosity, and the thrill of uncertainty. And that thrill is what keeps her chasing. Winning over the woman you want is not about blind effort or endless chasing. It is about mastering the subtle principles that create true attraction. Stop proving yourself and instead embody value. Maintain scarcity so your presence feels precious. Reverse the dynamic so she invests in you. Display power through unshakable composure and keep the spark alive with surprise and gentle challenge. These 5 rules are not tricks or manipulations. They are timeless strategies rooted in human psychology. They shift you from the role of the desperate pursuer into the role of the prize, the man she feels compelled to win over. If you take these lessons seriously and begin applying them, you will notice a dramatic change not only in how women respond to you, but also in how you carry yourself. You'll stop needing approval and start radiating confidence. You'll stop chasing and start attracting. And that shift will make all the difference. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 principles do you think is the hardest to apply in your own life? Leave a comment below and let's discuss. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to give it a like, share it with a friend who needs this message, and of course, subscribe to the channel for more content on power, psychology, and relationships. Your support keeps this journey alive, and together, we'll keep uncovering the strategies that make you unstoppable.